What's up guys, today I'm going to be going over a quick little Scrap Orcust tech I've been playing this deck. So recently I've been playing Scrap Orcust at locals and I found some really cool interactions I want to show you with some cards that you may or may not be playing. Obviously we're going to start this off pretty simple. I'm going to be showing you the tech cards I'm running. I'm running 2 copies of Yugioh. Originally I wasn't running this. This is more of a engine card, not really a tech card, but then I'm running 2 copies of Orchestrated Crescendo. You gotta play a second one in this day and age. You can kinda get away with playing one, but here's the thing. Orcust is a very grindy deck. If you've ever played it, it's sometimes really hard to go for the one-shot kill. And having a second Crescendo to be able to search and also being an Omni-Negate counter trap is very, very good, especially in the grind game when you're trying to keep the tempo up. So yeah, I'm playing 2. The grind game is very important in this deck. If you don't have one, you auto-lose. Which is really not the case for Orcust, especially because Galatea and Yugioh does all the work for you, but you get the idea. And also for the new cards I'm playing 3 copies of Forbidden Chalice. If you're wondering what Chalice does, it's basically, I mean, you can play Imperm, but here's the thing. I want to be able to summon a monster out, then slap a Chalice on board, just so I can get them to bait it out. So yeah, that's basically what Chalice is used for. Also, if you're going first, you don't have to sack this off the Wyvern, you actually just keep it set and you have a monster negate for free. So that's what I ended up cutting for that counter trap, World Legacy Sorrow. But let's go and get into the combo tutorial. I'm going to show you the new tech I've been playing in the deck, and just basically what you do if you're forced to going second. This is going to be pretty standard. We're going to start this off with Chalice and a copy of Yugioh. Okay, now we're going to be doing the going second route for the deck. So this usually involves a way to make it to Galatea / Yugioh fairly consistently, but we're going to go in and show this off. This can either be Chalice or Twisters just for going second in general. Any going second base card, Alpha, Pankratops, any of those cards. But yeah, just spot removal in general is very important in this deck, and you want to be able to ensure that you can play through Disruption. So I'm going to be using Chalice in this instance. So, depending on the matchup, it can be pretty tricky. You may want to Chalice off, like, a Savage or something, but it really depends. If they have a counter trap, then you want to go ahead and put up the Chalice first, so you can go Chalice, bait it out, then you can normal, but if it's a monster, 90% of the time you want to go your monster effect first, then chain Chalice. But it really depends on if they have a counter trap or not, so you gotta keep that in mind. But let's go and get straight into this. I'm going to start this off by summoning it to either far zone. We're going to choose to summon it to the far right zone. Reason why is if you summon it under an extra monster zone, you could be giving them access to cards like Equimax, Relinquished Anima, and many other cards that zones are very important in 2021. So yeah, you got to keep that in mind. They attempt to use their monster effect. We're going to chain Chalice. We're going to fire it off, and we are going to dump the Orcust Nightmare from deck to grave. So basically what Orcust Nightmare allows us to do is play past the Zeus we're going to be setting up. Surprise, surprise. We'll summon a token to both sides of the field. You actually want to place a token under the extra monster zone that you're not going to be using. The reason why is if they're playing a deck that cannot get rid of the token, that essentially if they're playing a deck that requires links, arrows, and all that, they're going to be having to rely on your link arrows and stuff along those lines. So yeah, you can completely turn off some plays. So we're going to summon under their extra monster zone. Keep note, you do not want to put it under yours so you give them free Mech Knight columns, but you want to place it under theirs. Now what's going to happen from here is we're going to link away our token, of course, into a Link Spider. If you're wondering why I'm playing Spider, essentially this is used to play through Nibiru. Link Karibo is really good. One reason why I'm not playing it is the space. Second of all, every time I would make a Link Karibo, it's usually better just to put up a Link 2 / higher Link monster in general. So yeah, we're going to summon the Link Spider, and then we're going to go ahead and turn these into a Galatea. Now what happens from here is if you have a banished Orcust, you can use the effect to set the Crescendo directly from deck. Obviously if you're going second, you don't really want to set up Babel unless you already hard draw the Crescendo. In some scenarios you actually want to put up a second Crescendo, even though it may hurt your grind game depending on the state you are in. But we're just going to assume we have nothing banished or anything along those lines, and we're going to go ahead and turn this into a Yugioh. So once we summon the Dingirsu, we can send any problematic card on the field that would attempt to hurt our combo or restrict it in any way, shape, or form. Now basically what you're going to do from here is you can actually crash your Dingirsu into something that has lower attack, and then you can go main phase 2, turn it into a Zeus, and then you can attempt to use Zeus effect, detach 2 of course, nuke everything on field, and if they have no response, you're winning. Their token goes away. This no longer clogs the EMZ, but in theory this is very, very strong, especially since you have a full Orcust combo in graveyard and you just gotta resolve a free Zeus. So what you can do from here is pretty standard. Normally you want to go Banish Nightmare, target Zeus, and dump a copy of Symbol Skeleton. I'm going to look for mine. This might be a second. You're going to dump the Symbol Skeleton, and essentially what this allows you to do is continue past that Zeus. Make sure you do not use any of the Orcust effects before you make the Zeus. Why? Because Orcust lock you into a dark attribute monsters after they use their effect. It is not one of those effects where, like Pot of Duality, where you cannot use theirs if you do happen to summon Zeus. But you make sure you always summon him before you use any of the Orcust effects, or you won't be able to make the Zeus in time. Now what's going to happen from here is I'm going to banish the Symbol Skeleton, summoning the Galatea. If this is the next turn, you can summon the Dingirsu, but it's always better just to summon the Galatea straight out. From here I can go Galatea, shuffle back the Symbol. If you're wondering why I chose Symbol, is because if we do happen to get a next turn, it's more beneficial that I have Nightmare to be able to attach off Dingirsu in the extra deck than a Symbol, which really doesn't get us anywhere. So we're going to go in and put this back. And this gets us to any card we need. So this could be Gizmek, Wand, anything really. I'm going to go ahead and set up our copy of the Orchestrated Crescendo. I think the most reasonable spot would be the middle. You obviously can do these sides, but it depends on the zones. Make sure you play around the zones if you want to be a top tier player. Zones are very important, especially in a format where cards like Impermanence and Mech Knights and all of that exist. So yeah, that's the pretty cool going second combo. You get a free Zeus, a Galatea, plus a Crescendo, which is a Omni-Negate trap that you also can banish to search any Dark Machine from banished or deck. So for instance, I can actually search a Gizmek, I can search a copy of this, I can search that. I can just really search anything I need at that moment, even another Girsu. Originally I was playing a copy of Hydralander, but I felt that most of the times where I got Hydralander, either it was really good or it just really sucked. And Girsu in that sense just kind of replaces them, since we get infinite rear sources off Girsu, Crescendos, Galatea, and Girsu being able to shuffle it back and send it. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope people will enjoy the video. That's a quick little tech I just wanted to show you guys. I think Zeus is actually going to be really good for now on in the Orcust deck. Just being able to nuke something going turn 2 if you don't actually have like a backup plan is really nice. So anyways, I hope you people enjoy the video. Don't forget to subscribe for the ultimate Dingirsu. I'll see you guys later.